we go, and there we go. What's up, YouTube? Didn't forget about you. So, all right, so 4,010 calls is what I'm looking at, and then 39.90s. I'm going to spread those out a little bit. A little bit of profit taking coming in here. Red action down to the 21 EMA. XLF, everything else has got a little bit of red after a very, very green pre-market. 39.87 is bottom liquidity on Bookmap. Let's see how we operate. So when I have a big green open and I see this type of profit taking here, I start looking for scooping and scoring. I'm starting to look for calls up to 40.10, 4,010. Be a little aggressive with those babies. They're currently trading for $10, and we'll see what happens there. 410. Yeah. So let's see. Big profit taking. So that's coming down to VWAP right there, where VWAP is opening right about in between R1 and S1. The price is coming down between R1 and S1. We've got liquidity 39.85. Keep an eye on the Bookmap as always. I'm not seeing anything added below except for 39.85. They just put on 39.50 and they took it right back off. So they spoofed 39.50 as I was saying that sentence. They took it right back off though. They've got 39.90, 39.85. Everything else has got red too, but nothing crazy. So 39.85 will be my first target coming off 39.93. So far we're coming out with a little 15-point drop. So all of the X's are green. XLE, big old pop with a little bit of red at the bell. So everything is pretty much doing exactly the same thing. Big old pop pre-market followed by an opening red to take some profits. So $39.93.25. I'm looking at 40.10 calls right now, which are a little bit aggressive. They're 20 points outside the money, but if we can get a good bounce off 39.85 and head back up to where we were, right now the trend line is pretty much where we're at now, a little bit higher than the trend line, but it'll be a nice little win. But we've got to make sure. SPY, where's the gap at SPY? Roughly 396.5, so about a $2 down. Nice, it's real well done. Well done. What up, YouTube? I bought a September 6 SPY 400 near the bottom of market. Very happy. Very nice. B-NATO. All right. Microsoft. Yesterday, Microsoft was the lagger of most of the tech. They were kind of the one that wasn't moving as aggressively as everything else. And finally, they had a little pop there at the end, too. Google's up not quite as much as everyone else, 0.46. Microsoft is 0.45. NVIDIA is even after a significantly red day yesterday. And then Meta is up 0.2. And the most bullish of them all is Apple. Why is Lulu up 10%? I don't know. Probably got some sort of news. Little bottom wick here off the 34 EMA for ES. For SPY, the 34 is way on down because when you gap up, it takes about 30 minutes or so for those EMAs to catch up. Obviously, that's one of the reasons why I like to look at pre-market data for ES because it incorporates the EMAs in pre-market. Man, nice big old top profit taken here down to 39.87. Coming on down to S1, we have S2, which is a significant level, and they just put on 39.70 on Bookmap. And we keep on dropping. All right. If we go too much below 38.90, I'll bring down the strikes to probably 4,000. I don't want to be too aggressive on these because it starts getting a little too out there. A little green across the board here on tech, down to the 34. We're on VWAP. We've got to 50 is down there just above S2, and 39.70 is liquidity. Large amount of liquidity at 39.70. Anybody hold any good calls over the night? I'm sure some of y'all did. Nice, Balancy. Yeah, I know you did. Well done. See, you sold one for 180, and now you're managing the last one, but that's why we do it. Right there, free play. I saw a lot of going on in oil, and then, of course, Oxy. A lot of stuff. Anything that Buffett touches is gold. Nice Trader K. Oh, we got a Trader J and Trader K. We can do the whole alphabet. I know we got a Trader Z in here, too. I just need the other 23 letters. Nice Technic. Good stuff. What we got? All right, bottom wick green candle here, fizzling just above S1. Does Bookmap offer any other indicators? Honestly, I don't know. I haven't even tried to put any indicators on the Bookmap. I like having it nice and clean, except for the stops and losses, of course. Yep, IV's up from yesterday. Premium's up for about $1 or so. You had some spreads. Nice, Steven. All right, so they've shifted that liquidity on Bookmap 39.70. They've put it on and kind of shifted up a point or so, so they are managing that position actively. They've got 39.85, which is gone. They didn't quite absorb that level. They just removed 39.85, so that level was not absorbed. That was just taken off. We still have 39.72. All right. Keep an eye on here, looking at 4010 calls for September 2nd. Currently going for about $9, up and down. Hopefully, we have a good amount of volatility this morning that holds, because I know we do have a long weekend. I just don't want to fight a bunch of nasty chop today. It would be nice to get a little movement. Finish the day out strong. We had two trades yesterday, one great, one pretty much nothing. I would love to finish out the week strong. So far, Jonathan, yep. So far. Man, that liquidity 39.72. Let me see what we got going on above. We've got still got that 40.25. So we've got 40.10 building up to 40.25. We got the EMAs that are all nice and climbing. Everything else looking nice and bullish. The 850 crossover is a good indication of going long here. So you see on the YouTube, you've got the 8 EMAs starting to steadily climb up here after we approach the first 15 minutes of the day. We've got the 50 that's just above it, getting that 850 crossover. And then, of course, later on down the road, to get the 2134 crossover, which would require still maintain bullishness, would be a good indication of a trend up morning at least. I can't speak for the afternoon, but a trend up morning. XLF $34. Nice. Amazon just put a new high. I want to take a look across the board here. NASDAQ has got down to 12,300. Where's Apple doing right now? We got Apple at all over the place. 162 is above. We had some scattered, smothered, and covered at 160, 159, and 158. Microsoft is up to 263, 260, 264, mostly to the upside. Here's a nice little red candle there. Look at that. Tesla coming on down to 277, just bounced off that liquidity. Amazon is just bounced off their 130, never absorbed 130, and it's coming off down to, looks like 128.50. So 39.80. Nice little red candle just put in a new morning low. Volume still coming off here as are separating out of the morning volatility. Coming on down to S2. S2 is roughly 397 on SPY, which is about $1.20 down. That would be a great place to go long if we get down there. But there's a big old influx of sell volume. They're kind of separating back and forth. They're duking it out right here. Put your dukes up on VWAP on ES. All right. Man, look at this coming on down. So now we're getting to the point under the 50. We're getting into reversal mode. I don't want, me personally, I don't want to play puts from here, from open till now, because there's a high probability of bounce. But if we start putting in levels below here, we start getting into gap fill / area with SPY, which is about $1 out, and potential reversal zone. So but be careful. Yeah, this is definitely profit taking. You know, we had a very massive move up from yesterday, and we're up 100 points from yesterday's lows, so more than that. So yeah, there's going to be some profit taking here. There's going to be some profit taking. Down to the 50. Nope, liquidity is still there. The high stuff is still there. They got 40.25, 40.20, 40.15, 40.10. So they removed all the stuff at 4,000, which is weird. But yeah, we have 40.39.72 here, which is a lot of liquidity. Yeah, it's definitely pretty heavy. Pay attention to the VIX here. NASDAQ, SPY coming off. Lost me on voice? Everyone else got me? No? Bueller. I know there was an update on Discord yesterday, so that always causes issues. So I know y'all can't hear me say that though, but they're adding 39.70 back on liquidity here, so liquidity flying around all over the place. Right there. Yeah. Discord's a little wonky like that. You got to just, close it out, open it back up, you'll be good. Coming on down to the 50 simple moving average. That liquidity here at 39.72 is interesting because that's a substantial amount. That's a real level. Amazon's coming back off. Looks like they're going to try to just come down to the pre-market levels. I'm definitely going to shift my strike down. I'm going to go to 4,000 calls instead of 40.10. That's a little aggressive. So, a little aggressive. Checking out on the 5-minute chart, we've got mixed bag, red, green, 15-minute chart. One obviously very large red candle. Very little wicks, very bearish under very large selling volume supported. And about twice the amount of sell volume is buy volume on that first 15-minute candle. And then the second candle is just now forming, just now started about 30 seconds ago. So, in about another 15 minutes, I'll check the second candle, and of course, we'll look at the first 30-minute candle, which will be closed right at the top of the hour. Nvidia's down another 1.47% today after a recovery. They got almost to 12%. They finished in the ballpark of 7.5 to 8%. They opened slightly green and are giving some of that back. So you got to be careful with Nvidia until we get through this China stuff. Coming out and their whole business model was affected yesterday. And I don't want to go long calls on that until we see something going on, or at least maybe we just sell off enough where that is accounted for. Yep, yeah, they walloped, man. That hurt them. That hurt them. Or just wait till Pelosi to go long calls, and then we'll pile into some calls. That's what I'm looking for, hedgeonary, especially what I've got going on Bookmap. Plus, that's right around S2, so I do have a couple of correlated points for that little particular area, which I agree with you on. So we'll see if we can get down there. So. All right. First green candle. No plays just yet. No plays just yet. Right now I'm looking at 4,000 calls. If this keeps breaking down, I might try to scalp a put down to 39.70, so 39.70 puts. But 4,000 calls. Right now, the buyers have stepped out, but we all know that can change. What's happening now is, one, taking profits. Two, the price was quite high, so the sellers came in and refreshed that. Now the buyers are trying to figure out where the next demand zone is, or the sellers are trying to find that, which is called price discovery. And if they come on down, I'm looking for like that 39.70 area because the buyer volume here is relatively low. The sellers are still overtaking this. The first 15-minute candle is about double the amount of sellers as buyers, and now we've got the second candle forming. It looks like there's a good probability it'll probably come down to at least mid 39.70s here based on what I'm seeing in the volume. So yeah. How can you tell if it's a buy or sell on a candle? Yeah, so yesterday I added that new indicator, which I'm really enjoying. It's the up-down volume indicator in TradingView that divides every candle up into the selling and buying. So what do we got? At 9 o'clock, we've got factory orders, oil rig count, which, no, that's at 1 o'clock, I'm sorry. That's at 1 o'clock. But at 10 o'clock, we've got factory orders, durables, all that's non-factor. Yeah, so we'll see. Yeah, me too, D above. Me too. That's available on TradingView. All right, Microsoft going back up. We have liquidity back to 39.92. 39.80 is below, 39.72 is below. Little horizontal line in that is the cumulative volume. So that tells you the overall net volume of that candle. So if you look on the normal volume indicator, you see a red-green candle, or red or green, that will correlate to that little horizontal line. So I gotta use it a little more. You know, I can't say that I don't not like it. I just gotta look at it a little more. All right, a little bit of green off the 50 here, 50 simple moving average. Sellers had a job to do. Let's see if they can finish that out. Microsoft went to new highs. Coming up to the 8 here. What do you think about all these people saying next week is going to be mayhem in the market? You know, I think next week is a little premature because you remember the week after, and then the week after that we've got a lot of crap going on. Next week is the week after next is CPI. The week after that is FOMC. So, and I think those will be very tumultuous. You know, I think September will be a down month. All right, so we got some green coming up. Lighter buy volume here. Not a lot of volume and continuation here, so keep an eye on this. I still have the 4,000 calls up and ready here. They're going for, what, 12 bucks? So, yeah. I don't really go by, everyone on Twitter, it's all emotional, on the way up in June and July, everyone said we're going to do all-time highs because it's emotional. It's people get emotional, and then you have the sarcastic people. It's like, well, why don't we just go ahead and bring it up to 5,000? So it's all noise. I'm trying to go by what I see in the charts. Today was a beautiful bounce off of the 50 trend line. Next week will probably be a lot of consolidation going into CPI. We're not going to really test a lot of major moves right before the CPI event, except for maybe the day before. The hours and / day or so leading into CPI will probably have a move, but the couple of days before probably going to be a large range that we're going to consolidate in, if I had to guess. I don't want to hear it, W Dog. So, watching tech. Tesla is down, staying down. Google's down. Amazon's trying to make a move up. Apple didn't really fall all that much. They're kind of hanging out. I still think 39.75 is the overall target. There's a crap ton of liquidity there. They're adding and taking stuff off around it while leaving that one. We'll see how fast we can do that. We finally have an 820 or a 50 simple moving average and 8 EMA crossover, which is a bullish indication to the upside. Now, can it hold? After that, we're looking for the 21 and, of course, the 34. So, yeah. What do I have on screen right now? You are seeing SPY on top, NASDAQ in the middle, and then VIX on the bottom. And right here, of course, is Bookmap, a beautiful standalone software for monitoring liquidity. They're adding more here. If you see this range, I'm going to expand that a little bit. 4020, 4017, they squeezed in a 4016, 4015, 4013. So there's a lot of liquidity above us. A lot. They took off that 4025. So they could have just shifted that. And then, of course, 4,000 they're putting back on. Adding liquidity above, they still have the 39.70 and 39.80. I'm looking to see here what's going to happen. I've got 4,000 calls up and ready. Amazon's still going green here. XLF is still holding. I don't see any significant selling around the market here except for maybe Google. They're looking a little heavy. I'm not monitoring NVIDIA, but they have reduced some of their losses there, so they're ticking back up. I execute on E-Trade and IBKR, but starting next week, it'll be exclusively IBKR. The second I move my funds over, I got tired of dealing with E-Trade, man. They aggravated the crap out of me. I tried to have a conversation with them, and they pretty much told me to go take a hike. So I was like, all right, well, I'm done working with you. So I'm going over to IBKR, not to mention I've gotten as good on IBKR, if not better, than I am on E-Trade, which is, to me, is a huge deal. It's a huge deal. learning how to navigate and execute on your broker is just as important as learning how to trade, because I mean that's your tool that you use, and you got to learn how to use it. Yeah, that's one of them. Yeah, that's one of them. The main thing for E-Trade for me is one, they would not lower my commissions any lower, even though I'm spending thousands of dollars in commissions a year. They wouldn't lower them. Two, frequently I have to chat with, like, every morning. It's like every 3 days, 4 days that I'll wake up and my buying power is zeroed out, and it's literally zero. I can't even play. I couldn't even buy one SPY contract, and so I'll have to message them. They'll have to reset everything. I'll have to close my broker, open it up, and I got tired of dealing with that. And then it got to the point where if I can't even if I have a broker that I can't trade long option spreads and futures at the same time, I just think it's no good. So yeah, I was doing both. I'm going to switch over to IBKR entirely. I just like it too much. So 50 cents. Whoa, my YouTube just went down. So yep, and I'm sure some people told me that I need to be using E-Trade Pro instead of Power E-Trade. I tried E-Trade Pro, but it was terrible. So I use Power E-Trade, which is a little cumbersome. So I'm going with the big dogs. Not to mention, one of the most aggravating parts of E-Trade is that when you, like, say if I were to buy multiple positions, calls, puts, they group them together with wherever they want, and like you have to go in and manually like reset everything, because they'll group everything to a strangle, a custom strangle, straddle. It drives me nuts. So I have to go in there, execute positions, and then I got to separate them manually and then manage the position. So it's terrible. But anyway, that's my story. Switching over to IBKR. All right, so we dropped about 20 points. We're hanging out here at 39.86. We've got 39.80 below us. 39.72 is continuing to get larger. Oh, forgot one more thing. If I've got a long option open, I'll try to close it. It says, sorry, you cannot close a position you don't have. I'm like, or some crap like that. I'm like, what are you talking about? And it's cost me a lot of money before. So I'll have to close out the Power E-Trade, open it back up, or I'll have to go into the E-Trade website and close it out through the portfolio site. It's all software stuff. Is there any economic events today that may affect the markets? We do have the, what was that, coming out at 11 o'clock. Nothing too crazy. I don't think it's going to move it that much. We have, or 10 o'clock, I'm sorry, we have factory orders coming out. And that's the last part. We had a lot coming out at 8:30, unemployment rate and non-farm payrolls, which obviously we had a big old 30-point pop out of that. But no, I haven't had any problems with fill times on IBKR. In fact, it's been amazing. A couple of times IBKR has been down. It won't actually connect with the data, but literally only like twice. So all right, we're hanging out right here. The Bears are going to have to finish this, or the Bulls are going to bring it back up. They did remove all of that. No, they didn't. I just had it squeezed in. They removed 4010. They still have 15 and 20. But they still have also 3970. They're adding 3965 below. Coming on back down. Lowest level we got, they just took off 3970, or they just kind of like expounded on it, 3965 here. A lot of liquidity here, 3970 and 65. Below that, what do we got? All the way down to 3920. But they just added 3990 as well. Let's see here. Man, we're giving all this back. What's right here? TLT, the bonds. Ooh, yeah, they are. So a lot of volatility coming into the bonds. Move index is pop green big time. 2-year, and the yields are coming off aggressively. So you might have a little retraction here in the XLF. Coming on down. Watch out S2 here. We got a first little checkup here at S2, which is good support. No buyer strength whatsoever since open. We're just finished the first 30-minute candle. Down to 39.70. I'm cautiously looking at calls here, but the bulls are going to have to step in here in the next couple of minutes, or we're going down. XLF is putting in lows. Google's putting in lows. Tesla's putting in lows. We just filled the gap on SPY. Not yet. Not on SPY. We're almost there. Got a couple more points on SPY. VIX is still down 5%, but they were down a lot more. They were starting to eat into some of that. Also, keep an eye on the VIX. You know, we've been in a sell the volatility market for 8 weeks now. For 8 weeks. I am looking at, I'm going to shift this down to 39.90 calls. Yeah, I sold my VIX calls precisely. Once I saw them continually sell volatility, I mean, I closed them. I got tired of dealing. It's very difficult to make money on the VIX in that market. So 39.70, 39.65. I'm going to set an alert on TLT. They're coming up to their they've dropped greatly below their trend line. So I'm going to set an alert at 110.60 for TLT. All right, so we got some red here, low volume. The seller's cut in half right there. Amazon's at low of the day. XLF is low of the day. Apple put in a new session low. And Microsoft. Yep. So 39.90 calls are currently going for about, what, $9? They're about 15 points out. What we got? Down to S2, 950. 39.90 calls. FS2 21 is right here as well. And man, the 39.70. I want to take calls off S2 because S2 is significant. And we're bouncing right on it right here off that line. You notice, if you are new, by the way, right there. So sell volume is gone. So the sell volume came out. All volume, in fact, came out here. I'm watching this, but Microsoft is still putting in lows. Apple's still putting in lows. XLF is barely holding. What you doing to me? What you doing to me? Nothing yet. Nothing yet. Nicely, Rat. Green across the board. Trust the levels. That's right. Trust the levels. Sorry, I'm in thinking mode right now. 39.82 liquidity. Buy volumes trickling in. I'm going to switch over to the 5. Give me some data. 15. What do we got? 30-minute, we've got a little more than one candle forming here. Duking it out. They put on some liquidity at 39.82. They took off 70 and they trimmed off 65. So they're starting to trim that lower stuff. I'm banana. I'm banana on the 39.90s. I'm going for my S2. 1050. I think we're going to have a retracement here based on what I'm seeing. All right. Calls. In. Bam. First touch of 8 EMA off of S2. I knew I should have trusted the first touch of S2. Stupid late entry. That's what you get. See? You wait for confirmation and you give back profits. But if you front run it, you make more money, but it's more risk. So let's see if we can close this candle. Buyer's volume came in. There's the 8. Oh, nice FD. So 50% already. Nice. Nicely done. Nicely done. All right. So here's that first candle. Wiped out liquidity. Nice Viper bite. There's a big green. There's $13. Let's see if I can get $13 on the first scale out here. Let's see if I can get $13 on the first scale out. Bam, filled. 13 bucks first scale out. Love it. Let's come all the way back up to the highs, baby. Come on. I'll shut this computer right down if we get 100%. Let's do it. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. How about that, Ron? I took calls. Is Ron even here? What's up, Ron? I don't know if you can hear me because I banned you, but I love you. Hey, I'm already at 50%. How about that, Mr. Mufasa? Let's make 200%. I like Palo. All right. All right, I got 14 bucks. I'm going to go ahead and take another scale just because we had a lot of action. I'm going to put a limit order in at 15 bucks, see if I can get it. Can I get it? Let's see. I'll let you know when it's executed, or when it's filled, I should say, or even open. Thanks, Tim Cron. If you front ran that, you're making about 20 to 30% more than I did because I waited for confirmation because I'm a jabroni. I'm a big old chicken jabroni. And boom, filled. 15 bucks. $15. I got 2 scale outs here. I've got roughly 25% of the remaining position. A little bit too big to call a runner. And I call that banana the second I saw my confirmation. Hopefully y'all are making some banana splits tonight. Options University. 2 scale outs. I have to make sure I do my math right this time. Freaking Reddit. All right, let's go, baby. Nice, Stannis. Nice, Lurking Larry. It's going crazy, baby. You see what happens when you get these levels? This is why I love my levels. This is why I love my levels. All right, language. Language. S2 touch, baby. S2. S2. Nuck if you buck. Thanks, Neon Strider. Appreciate it. All right, managing the last roughly quarter of this position. We're doing fantastic right now. Nearly a 50% gain on the first one, a little bit less. Nice FD. I love trading when I'm making money. Me too. Me too. Nice, Lurking Larry. When out of this trade, could you go over your thoughts when it's going to bounce off F2? Yes. I wanted to take it right off S2 because I told myself today when I woke up, I was like, I'm going to respect my levels. Yesterday I didn't respect it and it cost me some money. Plus I was a little stressed. I had literally 175 DMs yesterday. Y'all jabronis talked to me a lot. But today I told myself I was respecting my levels, and look at that, man. It is bam. So easiest 50 bucks in my life. I like it. All right, they got liquidity at 39.90. They're putting on 40.17 and 40.20. So no human emotions. That's right. I'm human. Another day done before 11 a.m. Nice, Shane. Well done. Thanks, Paolo. I love y'all. Y'all are amazing. My target for the rest of these, I would love to see 4,000. 4,000, I'll consider scaling everything out, which we already approached it, but we didn't breach it. I've got liquidity of 4,000 and on the way up to 40.10, but the buyer stepped in a real way there. I've got it. If you're looking at the YouTube Lurking, I don't know if you are, but from a technical standpoint, we've got this 820. We got this dance between the 8 EMA and the 50 simple moving average. I want to see that kind of climb and separate and us touch R2. If we can reclaim highs of the day, we'll probably put in R3. If R3, we'll probably have about a 200%er here, roughly. So I'm coming up on 200% as we speak, or as hablamos, I think is the word for my Espanol. Made my monthly income. Nice yumminess. That is very yummy. Just a reminder here is that we try to keep profanity at a low volume. So I know we got some new people, but try to keep things professional. Look at this pump. You got the pump. And hey, by the way, 100%. 100%. Parkour. All right, I'm going to scale out. I'm going to close about another, I don't know, a couple of contracts here. I would not be swinging calls, me personally, into next week. It is a very historical month, and we've got CPI and FOMC coming along. So Lerad's killing it. 3% on your total account. Your levels just saved me a ton of money. Nice, Uncle Bill. Why were you in puts? Love it. God, look at this freaking rally. 21.30. Last scale out. The remaining position will be my final runner. I'm going to let these babies eat. I'm going to let them pull up to the buffet and freaking eat. Hopefully. Don't hurt me, Mr. Market. All right. One more exit. 21.30. Someone double check my math so I don't get roasted on Reddit again. Jabronis. Look at that. I've been talking about a bounce right off S2, and it's a beautiful, beautiful. Sometimes I surprise myself. Do I have live trading on Tuesdays and Thursdays? I do, Josh. For the subscribers, the Jabroni crew, we do some trading on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Yes, when we're not streaming on YouTube. We also stream every power hour as well, every single day, which is not on YouTube. So we do the morning and the afternoon. I'm trading SPX, Joel. Supplé. What's up, Logan? I trade in SPX 0 DTE 39.90. So I would love that prison mic. Nice, Van. Nice. I love it. There's two different options, Maiden. There's $25 for tier 1 and there's $100 for tier 2. Tier 2 gets you Zoom calls, plus actually, by the way, we're giving a giveaway. I'll nail down details and post it this weekend, but this month starts the giveaway. We're doing monthly $500 giveaways for tier 2. So, and I'll post the final details. But yeah, the main thing for tier 2 is you get 2 Zoom calls a month. So yeah. Nice, Balancy. $25 a month. Yep. If you go down in the description of this video, you've got the link to the website, theoptionsmillionaire.com. Be aware there is another Option Millionaires. Option is singular, millionaires is plural. Option Millionaires. That is not me. I am the Options Millionaire. But the link is in the description of the video, and of course the Discord link is in the description as well. First time I make $100 in contract, I'll upgrade. Let's do it, Ryan. The level-to-level trading, in my opinion, obviously I'm biased, is the best way to trade. EMAs and technical indicators, obviously I say it all the time, they're lagging. They only work 60% of the time. 60% of the time they ride every time, that kind of thing. So, and the reason why level-to-level trading, in fact, my version of level-to-level trading, is that it's based on actual price and actual volume. The only tool that we have got The only tool that we have got to fight hedge funds and kind of know what they're up to is through volume. And that's why I use these. So must be amazing to be enough value that people try to I mean, you know, it's, it is what it is, man. Thanks, Spy Hunter. I paid on Patreon. What's the difference? Patreon's the same thing. I'm just moving away from Patreon onto a website. Because I wanted to be able to manage my members the way I wanted to, and I can't do that on Patreon. Thank you, Spy Hunter. Appreciate that greatly. Yeah, it's still active. We still have a couple stragglers. So I can't get them to respond to any messages, and I don't want to just cut them off. So, but it's very small. There's only a few people left on Patreon. Still holding runners. Very small risk though. My risk for my intents and purposes, my risk has been removed from this trade. So I don't really care about the remaining runners to a certain point, of course. But I'll tell you what, though, I love this new volume indicator. I think I'm going to stick with it. I'm on currently, you're looking at the 3-minute, but I trade off the 3 and all the way up to the 15 and 30-minute. So, but yeah, but what you're looking at is a 3-minute chart. Thanks, Matthew. Made 8%. Nice. Done trading for the day. Have a good weekend. The up-down volume. Up-down vol. Yep. I'm not sure, Stashimo. I'm not sure. That's above my expertise. I'm not a computer savant. I can make some money, though. I've not tried Thinkorswim, no sir, or ma'am. Up 20% on calls, no zeros because I'm a big chicken. I am too. Oh man, that's a good feeling, dude. Every now and then when you hit one out of the park, it's a good feeling. It's a good feeling. Especially when it bounces right off of a level. How long had it taken me to become profitable? About 3 years. About 3 years. All right, I am at $21, which is a little lower, $21.50 now, all over the place. If we can get one good pump back up to the day's highs, we could probably have a 150%er here. Obviously, they're just runners, so, limited excitement. Nice lesson is that there's confluence in S2 and 21 EMA on the 3-minute added the conviction. Yeah, I was looking at the S2, but yeah. What's a realistic yearly goal? Are we talking the past 3 years, or are we talking normal times? Normal times, if I can get, if I can get 20, 10, 20, 50%, I'm extremely happy. Granted, I'm playing a little bit differently. The past 3 years, I mean, heck, it's been, make hay while the sun is shining type of deal. Crank one out of the park. The past 3 years has been home run derbies. Just let Barry Bonds step up to a 60-mile-an-hour fastball down the middle. I'll crank him out into the bay every time. So. Baseball reference. Thank you, Kidder. Appreciate it. I need to clear out the rest of my runners. Yep. Read that book, baby. Yarn. Fantastic book. What was my lowest point investing when I blew up my account? I lost 56 grand in 48 hours. If you haven't heard that story, I've got a podcast, by the way. It's called Making Millionaires Podcast on Spotify. I did an episode on that exact story. So if you want to hear about that story, I highly encourage you to listen to that episode. Look at that. We just bottom wicked that. How about that, Damien? How about that? Very good. Yeah, $56,000. Yep, on a $58,000 account. It's beautiful. The plus sign next to the levels means it's significant. So if you look at, there's only 4 levels that've got the plus signs today. They are significant levels, and today played out perfectly. I do swing trade in certain environments. I don't do too much swing trading right now because it's a little unpredictable. But before 2021, my main bread and butter was swing trades. The book I was referring to is Volume Price Analysis by Anna Coling. So, all right, I have got $23 on premiums. I've got runners here. What am I looking for now? Protein shake. Protein shake. Am I looking for another reentry? I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to get caught up in afternoon chop. We do have liquidity at 40.20. If I add anything, I'll probably do a smaller position at 40.20 to just kind of get a little boost here. But I'm up 130%. I mean, I just made my bank in one trade. So if we can get up above here, 40.20. So watching the volume is diminishing just slightly here. However, we keep on bottom wicking. The highs of the day is what, 4,009, I think? 4,925 is where we got. And of course, they removed all lower liquidity was what I was worried about, and they still have 40.20, 40.17, 40.15, etc. But yeah, we be good. We be good. Amazon just went new highs. Apple, XLF all gapped up. XLF was kind of making me nervous there. I'm not going to lie. It was making me nervous. Especially with the rates coming off like that. But XLF pulled its own, got back up there, and we are doing well. We're doing well. A bookmap is not a broker. I don't trade on bookmap. That's just a liquidity tracker. Oh, man. Going back up. Look at this. We going. I don't know. Either way, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. I don't link anything to my brokers. It's a security risk for me. Of course, I've had OPSEC pounded into my brain for over a decade now. So... For the up-down indicator, do you end up adjusting the time frame? I didn't. It's for me. It adjusts with me. So if I go to the 3, it goes to the 3, etc. Man, we're still squeezing. Look at this. Our runners are eating, baby. Eating. $26 for premiums. That's right, yumminess. Scaling out, man. Scaling out. Love it. All right, we just put a new high of the day, which brings in R3 as a high probability touch. Yeah, let me get through this trade, Shane, and we'll figure it out together. If I have 100K in my personal trading account, what percentage would you use for options? Depends on your experience. I don't care how much money you got. It depends on two things: experience and how you got that 100K in that account. If you got up that 100K in your account by trading, then you can go bigger. But if you just got that money from some outside source and put that in your trading account, you're no better off than someone with $500 in terms of experience. So that 100K can go to zero a lot faster than you think. So depends on your experience level and how you got that money. Lee Rack got 1,000%er. You're very welcome. So yeah. $1 million can go to zero just as fast as $1,000 if you full port, if you make stupid decisions. So do not underestimate the jabroniness of this market. This market will break your legs, bust your kneecaps. What do you think? We getting 200% today? What's going on? Could we bounce back down to S2? I don't see that happening today. I mean, I guess it could, but we just put it in the high of the day. We're going up to a high probability area. I don't know it. I'm about to hit 200%, by the way. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Two more, $1.50. I get 200%. Scalped 11% on bigger position size today. Got scalped out. Nice kill. Beautiful. 11% is 11%, man. If we go through R3, oh man, it gets very interesting. R3 is a significant pivot point in the market, a pivot point. And if we break R3, it'll be interesting. By the way, 615 people watching. If you don't mind, hit that like button, especially if you made a little money today. Show us some love. Show us some love. Nice, Ken. Welcome, welcome. Glad to have you. Glad to have you. Nice, Jimmy. 25%. Heck yeah, hip hop. All right, so there's a first little profit-taking drop off of liquidity. You notice 40, 20, 17, 16, 15. We're not quite to R3. I'm trusting R3, and I'll probably close my runners at R3. So now, here's what I want to say about patience today, because I saw people were trying to short and all that crap. When there's a trend day, stop trying to play the profit takings or retracements. So for me, I was not interested in playing puts. Puts, to me, yeah, you could have made some money off puts for sure. But for me, more important than managing, especially if you're inexperienced. If you're more experienced, whatever, disregard what I'm saying. But if you're inexperienced, you're learning how to trade, stop worrying about playing the counter trend on profit takings and retracements. So worry instead about being patient, picking out the call you want, leaving that up and getting ready, and then sniping an entry when things are ready. So for me, I didn't see very much enthusiasm to the downside. I saw a little profit taking after a 100-point jump from yesterday's lows. I waited for a particular moment. I saw S2. I was focused on S2. If I got it, I was entering. I waited 1.5 candles for confirmation, not even one candle for confirmation, and I entered. And now we're sitting on a 200% gain. Instead of worrying about calls, puts, do I need to take puts? Do I need to take puts here? Do I need to take calls here? Let me close up my puts and get into calls. Instead of doing that, I just waited. Patience. Take calls. So I think so, so. I think so. When did I switch to SPX? About a year and a half ago. Exclusively. I've always traded SPX, but about a year and a half ago, I exclusively traded SPX. Sometimes I'll still trade SPY just for liquidity and for the tight spreads and stuff, and because I like scaling out, so I would trade like my lower position sizes, I would trade SPY, but overall, I just decided to go ahead and just primarily on SPX. Nice nice distant. Y'all drive me nuts with your names. Come on, one more candle and I'll have 200%. Do we see your face on tier 2? No. No. There'll be a face reveal soon enough, though. I don't want to do the face reveal until the convention because I need to mess with y'all. Plus, I don't want to lose subscribers when I show my face. Definitely a face for radio. Yeah, if you want to see the face reveal, you got to go to www.onlyfans.com/optionsmillionaire, and you'll see it right there. It's nothing but face shots. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I don't have an OnlyFans. All right, 4015 coming up. Oh, geez, Louise. Wrong word usage. Yeah, I didn't mean that. Coming up on 200%. I think I'm going to go ahead and set slightly above 200%, see if I can get that. On Discord, is there a video link? Just the YouTube. I can't stream video on Discord because it limits it to like 25 people. So that's exactly what I look like, Jenny. I look like Walter White on Breaking Bad, except a little beefier. Come on then. Come on then. It's like the little dinosaur coming out of the egg on Jurassic Park. Give it to me. Look at this. Look at this. 200%. God, look at this. This thing's going, man. There's R3. There's R3. They just absorbed their 4016. God. I'm closing my runners here. I can't. It is ridiculous. Ridiculous. What can I get? Love it. Love it. All right, I'm posting this. Beautiful. I'm trusting my levels on the way up, and I'm trusting my levels on the way down. Gah. What a move. Now I could sleep soundly tonight and this weekend, on a long weekend. Amazing. Crush my goal for the day. Nice, no blankets. Well done. Enjoy the holiday weekend. Here's a question I got for you now. Yeah, but I was looking at R3. I was looking at R3, and I thought we were going to reject R3. So either way, I'm happy with it. What is it, 199%? I don't care. That's 200% to me. I don't care. So, but yeah, we just popped it. So anyway, we're through R3 now. So now I'm looking for what can we do? What can we do? The power of runners made my September income on the second day. Nice yumminess. Well done. Hopefully y'all made your membership fees back on this trade. I have, Catchy. I've got 2 videos. Have you interviewed a podcast most profitable students? I haven't. That's a good idea, though. It's a possibility. What's the best way to enter without FOMOing? The best way to enter out without FOMOing, on a trend up like this, the one way is to look for a retracement. But obviously, there has been no retracements. This is a 50-point move. So there's no retracement. So the only thing you could do, one, play at levels. That's it. I mean, this is difficult price action to get in once the move is started because you're waiting for pullbacks, and there hasn't been any. We haven't even come close to touching the ADMA since the S2 touch. We're just sitting here eating. So it's difficult. You just it's one of those things you just kind of have to enter and put your stop on there and go and ride it out because the volume's increased. The buyer's volume's actually increasing on the way up here, which is very bullish. When buyers enter and increase on the way up, that's a very bullish indication. That means the buyers are buying into it. Algorithms are kicking in, and they're buying into the rally. So, all that to say, there's not really a good answer. There's no retracement to be bought here, so you just got to put in. Here's the first one. And here's the second one. Depends on account size. Yep, depends on the account size. If you can trade SPX and still maintain position size without really having to manipulate your strategy, then it's time to switch over to SPX. So roughly 25 grand is what you need to comfortably trade SPX is what I would say. So yeah. Now you are going to give up, scale out ability, because trading 20 contracts of SPY, you can customize your scale out any way you want. But 2 contracts of SPX is, obviously you're pretty limited. SPX has those advantages. SPX is 60-40. SPY is not. All right, so we're checking up here on R3. Once again, just like magic, levels are beautiful. I exited my calls because of that. I would not re-enter on the downside. This is not a range day so far. This is a trend up day. So me personally, I'm not looking for counter trend trade. I'm looking for calls just on the way up. Honestly, I'm not looking for anything. I just freaking knocked it out of the park. I blasted my weekly profit out of a lot of green days this day. Yesterday was a slightly green day. The day before was very green. Today was phenomenally green. So I'm not really looking for much else. If we go up to R5, I might scalp a little bit to the upside, but I just caught a 50-point move on a perfectly timed call. Well, actually, Lee Rat perfectly timed it. A couple of y'all did too. I did not. I was about 98% perfectly timed. So I'm going to throw on slow mode on y'all. Y'all are feisty today. Lee Rat's beautiful, man. Trust me. Me and Lee Rat's got a deal. So me and Lee Rat's got a deal. I got all the faith in the world in Lee Rat. I took that last trade with you and took profit. Seemed so nuanced. Can you go back and do VPI on the move? From the first candle he's interested to play, developing. Yeah, I can do that. Give me a few potatoes here to see how we're going to move off R3, and I'll do it. Nice, Balancy. Well done. You had to take any puts today, but well done on you. Good stuff. So now pre-workout and hit PRs, pretty much. Coming up here in about another hour and a half or so. We have 45 minutes till UK closes. Convention's going to be in Vegas, and we'll nail down details here. We'll get that going. I think I'm going to do a podcast with Lee Rat soon, too. Kind of, get that going. Kind of like meet the Lee Rat. A live convention of the podcast, that'd be awesome. I think last time we took a poll on how many people would realistically go, I think it was in the ballpark of like 70 people. So I'm curious how many of y'all would realistically go to this thing. The comment you made earlier about how you got that 100K resonated with me since I blew up my money that my parents gave for me. And I lost a similar amount like a jabroni. Currently about 8% back and gaining all that back. Yep, nicely done. Well, nice to grind back and get 8%. So, I love it. I appreciate that, MF Doom. I'd love to meet every single one of y'all. Even Ron. What's up, Eric? It's been beautiful. We just had a 199% win, not 200%. I have to be accurate now. God forbid I make a calculation error. But yeah, we'd had a 199% win. Calls off of the very bottom of that job, so it was beautiful. We almost picked it to the bottom. So the first tier is $25 and the second tier is $100, depending on how deep you want a rabbit hole you want to go. If you want a classroom setting where we do 2 Zoom calls every Sunday night, it'll be the tier 2, and then the tier 1 gets you access to daily streams and the power hour streams in the afternoon, as well as call outs, which we are in a call out server, but I still post them, and etc. So nice, Naomi. Nice, Stannis. I love it. Levels are money, Robcom. Love them. Every morning I post the levels about 9 o'clock in the morning Eastern for the room so you can plot them. Yeah, so. And the tier 2 gets the macro levels. macro levels, which are weekly/monthly levels, which are like SR levels on steroids. All the Zoom calls are recorded for playback. Yes. No poo poo. That is a poo poo idea. Out of curiosity, I've traded 4 trading communities over the past 2 years. This is by far the best. Oh, thanks, Distant. Appreciate that. I hate that X in front of the D. But I appreciate that. Approximately how many Zoom calls do y'all have archived on the drive? I've got a lot. I've got at least 24. However, I can't post the ones from April until December because I have to scrub them. There's data in other people in there that I don't want on there, and I have to scrub them. What do I think about credit spreads? I love them in a certain environment. I hate them in this environment because we're every day we are sitting on a powder keg, and credit spreads right now are great until you get breached and then you're destroyed. So, but I do love credit spreads. Yeah, I was doing a lot of credit spreads up until about January, and then I stopped doing them because I was tired of having to defend. I was wasting all my brain power defending credit spreads. Look at that. Beautiful rejection of R3. Look at that. So my significant levels, which have plus signs next to them, we bottom picked it, came up, I closed my runners, and now look, we're rejecting. That's exactly why I closed my runners at R3. Booyakasha. Probably right now we're going to have muted action, which is why I don't even have my broker up right now. I'm just talking to you jabronis. Because that's a counter trend trade. That's a lower probability trade, although that would have been a nice scalp. But nice, Naomi. Well done. Awesome. I'll let you know after we deal with this retracement. You know, it depends. If we come back down and touch S2 again, we're not going to new highs. There's too much sell pressure. But if we come down to like, you know, R1 and bounce and go back higher, then we probably will go back higher. Yeah. It all depends on how we do it here. I don't want to predict. I want to make my decision based on what I'm seeing with the price action. How do you get the SR levels? You have to sign up for at least tier 1, and then I post them every morning at 9 o'clock in the morning. I made a nice 170 this morning on Tesla calls. Nice. Well done. If we go down to S3, then I mean that's substantially lower. I don't expect that to happen. I'm continually shocked by these levels. Nice, Bridgman. I'm glad you enjoy it. R3. Okay. Yeah, that makes more sense. Yeah, if we break R3, we're going. So I don't Viper. I'm not. Yeah, I haven't looked at their levels in many months. I do read their write-ups, but I haven't looked at their levels. Precisely because of that reason. I find them distracting. In my opinion, my levels are far more accurate than theirs, and they're a lot more consistent than theirs. Up $4,600. Nice, Naomi. Killing it. You should use some of that money to come join the server. Beautiful. $4,500. Bookmap is live. Yep, is live. They are. They're manually made every morning. So, I mean, I guess it is technically proprietary, but it's not. It's nothing crazy. Like it's all literally what makes them so accurate is experience. It's the fact that I know where and when to pick, but all it is based on historical price action and then volume price analysis and order flow. That's it. All right, so what I'm looking for here on Bookmap is how are they adjusting liquidity? We've got 4,000 here for 39.92, 39.90. I don't see anything substantially being put on below. We still have 40.20 up above, so I'm still looking for call entries here. My intent with the tier 2 is a little more in depth because I want to really get in the weeds with y'all and show you everything. But my intent with tier 1 is to show you how to use your mind and how to trade your system around these levels. So I don't want you to sit there and just take my plays. We're not a call out server because every day we're not getting 200%. But what I want you to do is learn how to calculate levels of your own based on what I'm teaching you, and then learn to play your system off my levels. Because I'm very proud of these levels. They've come a long way in the past couple of years, and I think it'll benefit you. I trade liquidity on the ES. Yep, because the S&P futures ES is the bloodline of the market. It is the big dogs because I want to monitor what the institutions are trading because that's going to lead it. So ES leads, the S&P index follows. So the S&P follows the ES. So I'm monitoring the futures here to kind of give me liquidity and tell me what the big dogs are doing. Nice fix erect. Nice Viper. If I'd leave, I'd show my promo code. Did R3 correlate with ADSPD, or did ADSPD correlate with R3? Did y'all see that backdrop on Biden's speech? Never mind. I shouldn't have brought that up. I just thought it was funny. It's going to cause a crap storm. How many days do I go live? I go live every day. Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday morning is on YouTube. Every afternoon I'm live in the Discord, and then every Tuesday, Wednesday I'm also live in the Discord. That's not on YouTube. Why don't I trade futures instead of options? One, options pay way better. Two, I trade futures in pre-market. I trade futures and options. Where do I trade options? I trade on, pretty much. I'm on E-Trade and IBKR now. I'm going over to IBKR, 100%. So, excuse me. I would, Tim Crom. That's what I do. I monitor volume on ES. Thank you. That was terrible. Nice, Naomi. Just be careful. Don't bag hold those. Don't lose all them profits because we are in a trend up day until further notice. Is that huge 15-minute bear engulfing a sign? I mean, they bottom wicked, so for me, that shows buyers are still present. If it closed with no wicks, yes, but the 30-minute candle is a green candle, so I'm not too bearish yet. Is there a way to trade futures after hours? Oh yeah. Futures trading in after hours market overnight is a lot different than what we do during the day. You have to trade level to level. You can't trade in between. You cannot, because you'll get chopped up. It's computer trading only. And you have random moves that can come out of nowhere. And obviously, you have to pay attention to the Asian market and the European market when that happens. Have you ever thought about making this Discord in just a market awareness, SR levels, and fundamental learning with no callouts? I have. Every day I think of that. I hate calling out plays. But I want to do it I want to do it so y'all can learn when I am taking plays, because I think that's the best way to learn from me and see what I'm putting my money where my mouth is and taking those trades. So trust me, I hate calling out plays. It makes this a lot more difficult when I have to worry about calling plays. So I'm hooked on bananas. Yeah. Is a candlestick pattern as important as SR levels? In my opinion, well, I mean, I think if you're talking about price action is the king. Like there's nothing. The market is price action. The price action is the market with volume. So the SR levels are based off of price action. Now, if you're talking about candlestick patterns, I mean, I guess no. I guess it really depends on what you mean. But nice, Naomi. Fantastic trade. 2.6%. Now, what I want to do is cage expectations, because for me, I'm not someone who wants to trade 30 times a week unless there's 30 trades a week to trade. Sometimes I want to trade, 3 to 4 times a week. And people kind of get hooked on the trades, and they're like, "Oh, why aren't you trading? Why aren't you trading? Why aren't you trading?" I'm like, "I am. I'm just not executing yet. Trading, I'm sitting here trading. I'm just not actually executing orders. I'm analyzing, and that's part of my system." So, how do you feel about trading on margin? I mean, when I was trading primarily stocks, I traded on margin all the time. I mean, I put a $750,000 order on Amazon on some using some margin. But for options and stuff, you got to be careful doing all that stuff. Getting into margin is a very gray area. Yes, Yadis. See? See, Naomi? It's right here. We're not trend down yet. We're just having a little bit of retracement. Now we're coming back up. XLF just blasted. Everything else is coming back up. I've never used Lite. I only have Pro, so I couldn't really tell you, but once over 25K, do you recommend going from cash to margin? No, because once you break back below 25 on a loss or something like that, you'll start dealing with all that crap, and you'll get alerts all over your broker. So I would wait until you've got about 40 and then do that. And even then, only do that if you're wanting to trade spreads and all that crap. So if you're going to stick with long options, there's not really any point to go with a margin account. Yeah, well, let's talk about that S2 bounce here. Yeah, so one thing with options trading is get used to trading less. Like, stop trying to trade more. And get used to trading less, because for me, I attribute I kind of compare my system to a sniper. Like, I'm not sitting here with a machine gun and blasting 200 rounds. I want to be very diligent and very accurate. So I would rather sit here and trade 3 times a week and have high quality accuracy, rather than trade 30 times a week and trade too much and start taking consistent losses. Now, sometimes the market does call for 30 opportunities or 50 opportunities. I mean, heck, it was back in May. I was trading. I traded 30 times in a day. I broke my record for single day trades. But that doesn't happen often. Right now, I'm primarily trading zeros, Lurkinator. And unfortunately, you see these dudes on Twitter who are posting like 75 setups. It's just nonsense. It's absolute nonsense, and it's not sustainable. So less is more. High quality. I would hope not, McMark. That would be a terrible idea. Yeah, I mean that's and he's legitimately scalping, you know, and that takes a crap ton of awareness, and you have to sit here all day, as is no good. And plus, he's got a lot of capital too. That is not something I want to be doing. Another rejection of R3. I'll trade zeros up until about 2:15, 2:10, or 3:10, 3:15 Eastern time. I'm in Central time, so. What would make me go bearish? Big ol' engulfing off R3 under volume. I would look for a retracement down to S1. Before I formed the community, I would trade until about 11:30, 11:15, and not even that, and I was out. If I had one good trade, one good like that one right there, my computer would be off. I'd be outside right now. So, and I learned that. I got to the point where I learned that I was losing more in the afternoon and making money in the morning. So I was like, man, one good win. If I got my profit, I was out. So shut off the computer. How much do I pay for Bookmap? Depends on which feed. There's different feeds. There's different subscriptions. I'd be happy to send you the link where you can kind of look through the different costs affiliated with that. But for me, Bookmap is the best tool I've added onto my system. In terms of a tool, not a system, because Bookmap's not a system. Bookmap is a tool to help you with insight to the market. Viper Bite, I love it. Since Monday is a holiday, are you going live on YouTube on Tuesday? Just sticking to your... no, I'll stick to the schedule. Because it's a double-edged sword, because yeah, on Tuesday I would stream live to make up for Monday. However, I would take away an exclusive day for my paying members, so I would stay there. I'll just stick with the schedule. Do a one-day challenge where you trade. I could do it. I mean, I did it for 10 years. I could do that. I don't need Bookmap, but Bookmap definitely helps me. I don't need any tool, but Bookmap is a phenomenal tool to add. Right now, nothing, Patient Purple. I'm watching here to see how we're going to react off R3. If I took a trade, 4,000 puts, 4,020 calls. The only thing I use for spot gamma right now, I don't even use the hero anymore. The hero didn't provide me any value. It'll be an interesting conversation to have with Matt. But uh, for me, I only use spot gamma for the write-ups. I think Brent is a phenomenal options chain statistician. Options chain statistician, if that's even a word. And I read his write-ups because he's phenomenally insightful. But that's it. I wouldn't say my favorite time frame to monitor is the 30-minute. I think the 30-minute is a phenomenal time frame to monitor that's a good balance between long term and short term. Now I execute on the 3-minute. Once I execute, I switch to the 5, and then I switch between 15-30 every time I get a new candle close. So every 15-minute segment, I switch to the 15. Every time we have a 30-minute close, I go to the 30-minute candle, and I switch between those candles. How long have I been trading full time? I mean, I've been trading. I mean, depends. I'm a pilot for the Air Force, and I fly nights for the past couple number of years. I've been night shift. Not now though. But I was trading during the day and flying at night. So, I guess you could say I flew full time. I traded full time, but I definitely had a salaried income. But right now, I'm not on night shift, so right now I'm solely trading with the past year or so. Not now, no lurking there. I'm not. But I love my job, so to me, flying the Air Force is not about the money. It's about flying several $1 million aircraft, doing some really cool stuff. All right, so the S2, let's talk about that. So on the way down, I am looking at S2 for two reasons. One, because S2 is significant, as indicated by the plus sign, because I knew we were going to get at least a check up there. And two, they had a crap ton of liquidity in the 39.70 area. So I thought, and they weren't adding anything below. So 39.70 was going to be a good target for the price action. That's what I was looking for. I actually wanted to get in earlier. I wanted to front run that play just because I was feeling a little feisty today. I didn't do it because I'm a jabroni. So I actually did, after the second touch and the third candle started forming is when I entered on, because what we came down, we touched S2 down to the penny, and we stayed there. Secondly, the volume started to come off. If you look on the volume indicator, the sell volume started to reduce greatly, and one of the great insights of this new trading of the new volume indicator is that the buy volume started to uptick. So I was slicing and dicing the volume candles to figure out when the buy volume was coming in, and that all tied together told me, hey, this is a good opportunity to at least scalp a call. Obviously, it took off very quickly. I mean, within 3 candles, we were up 60%. So I didn't even have time to scale out before that happened. And then off we go. So, but primarily was my SR levels. I was looking for a snipe on S2 from the get-go. Appreciate that catching, Rockets. Do you think your pilot training helps pull the trigger? I think my pilot training helps me, one, with situational awareness, doing multiple things, multitasking, and keeping my emotions cool under pressure. I think those two things, because those are two very, very key aspects of being a military aviator. Because, a civilian pilot, they have to worry about procedure, they have to worry about airspace, they have to worry about keeping the aircraft safe. When the military, you have to worry about all that stuff, plus working with customers, managing weapon systems, keeping safe, managing, talking to troops on the ground, and everything else in between. So there's a lot to go on. Plus, we have to look for UFOs all the time. Like there's UFOs all over the place. So I'm just kidding. There's no UFOs. Complete joking. The Department of Defense does not condone the message I just said. So. I love it. I don't have an estimated date. I don't want to be too precise because we're still in the planning stages, but that's going to come up quickly. So I would probably say somewhere in the next 5 to 6 months, maybe a little sooner. If I went to war, would I halt from trading? Yes. If there was a true World War III, I mean, everybody that was in service would be called up. So, and Lee Rat would take over. Yep. It'd be a ghost town in here. Yeah, they would probably close the markets too, so you're probably right. In World War III, the markets would be closed, just like they did in World War II. So, am I planning to do a course about trading? No, I don't believe in courses. You're talking about like where like I sell like content where you watch it? No, no. I think those are pretty much the people that do content. Those courses are they're trying to. I don't know. I don't know what their intentions are, but that's not something I want to do. So the closest I'll get to that is the tier 2, which is more one-on-one dynamic stuff where you can ask questions, and I'll do my best to help, and we'll go over stuff a little more intimate setting than just here, go watch my course and give me $2,000. So if you want to watch stuff that's not like dynamic, that's why I put out my YouTube content, which is all free. You can watch everything, and I try to do a YouTube video about every week or two, every 2.5 weeks, that kind of thing. Yeah, that's why I think the daily live streams and the Zoom calls are way better than a course because you can ask questions and there's dynamic. It's that kind of thing. Yeah, definitely, definitely. Plus, I do the YouTube and I do the podcast, which are both free. You can go watch that, and you know I do the Monday, Wednesday, Friday live streams, so people can come see the community for free. A little bit of insight into it. And then if you want to join, I think we're pretty competitively priced. It's one of the cheapest Discords out there. And yeah, any sign of a trend reversal right now? We're still good. This is going for a third touch of R3. We have liquidity at 40.15. We got lower volume here. So yeah, no, you could do that. If you already paid for 25, we'll figure it out. We'll get the discrepancy going. So we just absorbed 4014 on Bookmap. Just took it out. Now we got 4020, 4025. Lower volume though, so that was a lower volume absorption. And we're just kind of trickling up here. Watch out for R3. So my next play, if I do take one, will be contingent upon this touch. This will be the third touch of R3. If we pop it, good chance we're going to probably R4, which if you're tier 2, you know why. If we reject it, maybe even we're going to touch the 34 EMA, which is just under R1. So yeah, if we do fall, watch out for R1. If we break, watch out for R4. I wouldn't chase above R4. 4 out of 5 green days this week. Nice whip, Kareem. Awesome stuff. Yeah, that's awesome. We could see under 400. You know, that's not too far away. We could see that, but it all depends on how we do here at R3. I currently have no additional positions, Alfonso. I had the call this morning, but I've closed, but currently nothing else. I wouldn't know, Stannis. I'm not in the army. Banned. At least he didn't say Marines. That's all right. That's all right. Love the Marines, man. I work with them a lot. They're good dudes. Especially the Marsoc dudes, man. You want to talk about snake eaters. Those guys would eat iron for lunch. I didn't. Nope, I didn't go to the academy. I did not go to the academy. Academy guys are different breeds. Different breeds. Do I like scalping longs between the chop? I personally don't like scalping. If that's all that's there, I'll scalp. But you know, it's to me, it's the emotion. I do this every day. I've been doing this every day for God, I don't even know how long. I don't remember a time when I didn't actively trade during the day for the past 5 years of my life. So I have to maintain mental capacity because I'll get burnt out. I can't sit here and scalp all day. I just can't do that. I'll get burnt out quickly. I'm not someone who wants to sit in front of a computer all day. So for me, I try to pinpoint my accuracy. I try to take my trades and then try to get away from the computer. Me personally. $40% more than your weekly goal. I'll call it a day. Nice trader D. Love it. Enjoy your weekend. Have you ever thought of just making your money and hopping off like before? That can still help discipline others. I mean, I want to, sure, but I want to make sure I am helping you all. Like that, the reason why we're here is to guide you all through the market and help you all. So I'm not going to sit here all day because I think that's not a good use of anyone's time, including mine or yours. But doing the morning session and then doing the afternoon, I think is good use of time. Unless it's just nasty, and then we'll just get out. That's right, catching. That's right. You know, people talk about freedom, you know, financial freedom and freedom when you're trading, when you become investor. But is it really freedom if you're handcuffed to your computer every day for years? You know, between 8:30 and 4 o'clock, 9:30 and 4 o'clock, is it really freedom? No. Your boss is no longer human. Your boss is your computer. So for me, you know, if I can get out before 11 o'clock every day, that's golden. Going to switch to tier 2 probably on the monthly. Wish I could do the lifetime membership. Quick question. If you kick the bucket, is Miss O I'm going to... If I die, that's a good question. It's an honest question. I don't know. I guess that's something we'll have to go over. Obviously, I have life insurance. If I die in the next 3 months, we'll work something out. How about that? If I die in 2 years from now, then hey, you know, that's just the nature of the beast. But I appreciate you thinking about my certain demise. Am I going to teach us the method, step-by-step methodology to getting those good levels? Yeah. Yeah. Mrs. OM's a lot prettier than I am, but I don't know if she can trade as good as me, so we'll see what we can do, though. Here's what we'll do. Instead of when I die, instead of streaming on here, I'll stream on a Ouija board. So get yourself some Ouija board, and I'll say banana. And everyone's like, banana, get in. Yeah, it will. It will. That's me. That's me. Yeah. Y'all are crazy. Y'all are nuts. Well, we're right back to R3, kind of hanging out. So we bounce off S2 to the penny, and we are rejecting R3 perfectly. So, do I ever look at the 1 minute? I don't even look at the 1 minute ever. Ever. Not even as curiosity. What's up, swoosh? Yeah, we're looking for a break of R3 here. Nice stream. Thanks again for your service, disabled vet. Oh, appreciate your service, Catch. I currently work nights like you, so I can trade during the day. Beautiful, beautiful. Get some sleep. Thanks for being here. Come back later. I'd like to hear more about your service. What branch you were in. UK market just closed, 11:30. Let's see what happens. Do I ever trade Amazon or Tesla? I never trade Tesla. Every now and then I'll throw down a trade on Amazon and Apple, stuff like that. Oh, okay. I love it. Very cool. Great profession. Right now, I'm not seeing anything indicative of anything other than chop across the board. Bonds are flat. Yields are kind of hanging out. Volume has left the building. We're hovering out here at R3. Liquidity on Bookmap is shifted to 4020. We absorbed 4014 a while ago under light volume. And now we've got a little bit up to 4025. Late to the chat, where is R3? R3, right here, right there. We took a call off S2. We made 200%. I'm sorry, 199%. Thanks, Reddit. Now we're hovering right here at R3. If we do pop here, I'm going to look at 4020 calls. Currently going for $9 and change. But there's another rejection of R3. Tell me levels don't work. Do premiums get higher or lower during 0DD trades as they move to close? It depends. Theta is a huge move on... Theta is a huge detractor on 0DD positions. As long as delta is not moving. If delta is not moving, then theta is going to destroy your position. However, if we make a move that delta overcomes, then theta is non-factor. Ain't no big deal. But we need delta, and then you need gamma. When gamma comes over for Christmas and starts handing out tendies, things get fun. They can Star-Lord, but they're not as accurate. You know, I've tried doing them on Tesla before, and they were quite wide because of the lower liquidity and the big moves in Tesla. I don't have any positions, Abdullah. Right now I've got no open positions. I like it, Justin. All right. Can you explain the low volume test from VPA? Low volume test is exactly what that means. So we have a price action test under unsupported volume, which is a little bit ambiguous in terms of direction because we need to figure out what the volume is going to do. Why is the volume in SPX in millions? I don't monitor the volume in SPX because there is no volume. That the volume indicator you see is a calculation, so it's not real. It's Fugazi. Is there a limit? No. Now, when I'm looking on the third test, things start getting antsy because this is kind of an ascending wedge we got going on here, which is a bearish indication from a pattern perspective. However, the buyer's volume is still overcoming the seller's volume, and we're still grinding up against here under smaller and smaller and smaller candles up against R3. So we'll see what happens. I have no idea what's going to happen from here. I'll play puts on a break, and I'll play calls on a breach. Overall, I'm in no hurry to take a trade here. We're just dead flat. We do have a long weekend ahead of us. We just made a 106-point move off of yesterday's lows, which is a phenomenal move. So, that could be it. That could be it for the day. We could just kind of be trickling. Who knows? So, coming up on the top of the hour, I think I'm going to call it a day here after about noon. Go get some lunch. Go get some workout in. Go get some sweat on. I mentioned not swinging calls into next week. Why is that? We have got a tumultuous month coming. September is traditionally bearish, and now we've got FOMC, which we did not have in August, and we have CPI. So, I personally think this bullish run has to do with short covering for the long weekend after a very phenomenally red couple of days. And we're kind of fizzling out here at 4,000. We'll see where we close. And we'll see next week. I don't know. I have no idea what to expect. There's an argument for up and down. For sure. I love afternoon workouts. Markets close on Monday. Yep, they open up Tuesday. So the features will open 1800 Eastern on Sunday night or Monday night. Monday night. For sure. For sure. Man, 12 for 12 on scalps. Return on investment 8%. Mariah is absolutely killing it. If I had a trader of the month, it'd be Mariah right now. She's killing it. Absolutely unbelievable. What's the best way to control your emotions? Experience. Obviously it will depend on who you are as a person. Everyone's different. Some people are more gambling than others. Some people are more conservative than others. Some people are not risky enough. It all depends on who you are as a person and how old you are, experience level, that kind of thing. But experience will greatly help you hone that edge. Another rejection off R3. The more you do this, the more you'll realize. And the thing is, the market will continue to beat you down. You will your ego and your success are inversely related. So when you're starting out, you're egotistical, you're arrogant. I'm going to make this money. All these jabronis on Twitter are pounding their chest and saying, "I'm the best. I'm the best." I've made millions of dollars and whatever. And they continue to pound their chest, and the market will beat you down, and then beat you down, and beat you down. And eventually, they'll beat you down to the pulp to the point you can't be beat down anymore. And then you'll start to learn. Finally, you'll start to learn. All right, I can't full port anymore. I can't trade 30 times a day anymore. And you'll start to really grind that X and start to change. You'll reduce your position sizes. You'll reduce your trading frequency. You'll start to rely more on price action. You'll stop worrying about your stupid MACDs that doesn't work. And you'll start to be better. And that's called experience. Rejection off R3 again. Depends what broker, outsider. Depends what broker. All right, so we're finally breaking off R3. What a beautiful rejection. Coming off down, 40.20. Yeah, so the week after next is CPI, the week after that is FOMC. It'll be a very definite volatile few weeks. Absolutely. I'll be doing a straddle for both of those, strangle for both of those. Coming on down to the 50 and the 34. Below here, things get bearish. Below the 34 and the 50. By the way, if you are Tier 2, this Sunday is our first September Zoom call. It'll be Sunday at 1800, or we'll do 1800 Central, 1900 Eastern Time. What are some indicators I use? The only ones that I've got on my chart are the 821.34 EMA and the 5200 simple moving average and VWAP. That's it. That's the only indicators I use. The other stuff, nothing. MACD is beautiful in telling you what happened 20 minutes ago. Volume indicator is what you need. Volume and price action, and then even the EMAs that I use are secondary. Today I didn't even trade off of them. Nice heat pop. Now there's no volume at all right here. There's just no volume, no participation. So you're not going to have a large move here until we get some volume, which may or may not come into the market. A few more minutes, I'm grabbing some lunch. Next class is Sunday, this Sunday, which is at what, the 4th, September 4th? It'll be at 7 o'clock Eastern. 7 p.m. Eastern. I'm still in UMesh. More than a decade. It's weird. It's hard to believe I've spent so many years in the military already. Yep. Yeah. So on Tier 2, I do 2 classes a month, Every pretty much it's kind of working out to be every other Sunday. Uh, that we'll just come on here for an hour and I'll do a Zoom session and we'll have a curriculum, and then the last 15-20 minutes I take open questions, and they are recorded so you can watch the ones that are previously posted. I do have a couple of Zoom sessions over credit spreads and selling premium. Nice, MF Doom. Love to have you. You also get the macro levels too, so that's a bonus. Short options, yeah, I never trade naked short options. Me personally, one, I don't have the capital to do that. You need millions of dollars in your account to be doing short options efficiently. So I always do spreads, whether debit or credit. But just naked options. PJ. Love it. All right, coming up here for a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 test of R3. Sound like Mike Tyson there. Sixth test of R3. Yeah, it absolutely has. It absolutely has, Umesh. It's helped me in trading so phenomenally well. What speech? Oh, is Biden talking right now? I didn't even know he was talking. I assume that's what you're talking about. Ah. Oh my god. I'm sorry. I'm good. All right, so another test of R3 here. I didn't even know he was talking. When do people close out their 0DT positions? I don't know. It depends on what they're doing. That's a pretty open question. So it all depends on situation, profit, in the money, outside the money, timing. It doesn't even look like him. I posted him for the. I posted him the exact digits for the tier 1. Cleared directs for profits. Cleared hot. That's right. Where would you suggest getting data feeds for Bookmap? I have DX feed and Rhythmic. You don't need both of them unless you want to do stops in Iceberg, where you rhythmic. So it all depends what you want to do. If you want to do the stops and loss or the stops and iceberg indicator, then you're going to need the rhythmic data, which is fine. You don't need DX feed. But all right, coming up here, here's another test of R3. Got some green candles. Levels are perfect. Glad you enjoy. Glad you enjoy. So you want to know something funny too? Because it's the end of the month. It's the end of the week, and I'm not showing y'all. So this is one of our macro levels as well. And this is all night long. So 39.64 was one of our macros, and look what happened all night long. Stuck to it. That big old, thick, light red line. All night long. Macros are even better than the SR levels. If an SPX contract closes in the money, and if the settlement, the bid, mid, or ask, or something between all those, whatever the closing price is, whatever the closing price is, what do you define a macro level as? It is a level that I calculate. I don't even go below the daily charts. So I go to the weekly, monthly, daily, and I'm finding key levels that are historical levels, and I look for outlier data in the chain. And there you go. They stay on all week. I put them on Sunday night, and they stay on until Friday afternoon, and then I wipe them. And then Sunday night I'll calculate new ones. As far back as I can. Because we are at all-time highs, it only goes back to year and a half, because we have only been up here for a year and a half. But right here. So if you are tier 2, right there, you'll find them right there. So what is one resource that helped you the most in your learning curve? If I had to narrow down a resource, and a Collins book, VPA. So I am going to call that a morning, though. Ain't nothing going on. I've already knocked it out of the freaking park. I blew away my daily and weekly goal on that trade. So I have no motivation to trade anymore. Not to mention the volume has completely left the market, so I'm not going to fight this stuff. So yeah, I'm going to do a write-up over that trade. I think that trade was so technically sound and perfect for the levels that I think it requires a write-up. Let me know if you have any questions about anything. If you are new to the channel, then please come over and join the Discord. We've got the links down in the description of the video. Ask me any questions. You can shoot me a DM. You can post in any of the applicable rooms. You could discuss with other members, or you could discuss with me. So how to upgrade to tier 2? Go to the website. Click on the update. Go ahead and update, and then send me or Mrs. OM an email or DM, and we'll get you taken care of. We'll get the change in price taken care of. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions. Keep an eye on R3. If you are going to continue to trade, if we break R3, watch out for R4. If we do reject R3, watch out for R1. If we take out R1, S2. If we take out R4, we're going to R5. So little afternoon rundown there. So yeah, so thanks for hanging out. Hope you made some money on today's amazing trade. I will see you all this afternoon for Power Hour. Y'all take it easy. I'm out. See ya.